This video idea is gonna be a little different. I'm gonna talk about, alright, this video idea will be a little bit different. I don't know how I'm gonna fully edit this, so bear with it. If y'all do like it, please leave a like and stuff like that, but I'm gonna try to do a different format by still conveying a message but telling it in a unique fashion. There will be times that I break character and stuff just to say certain lines and stuff like that, but I hope y'all enjoy. So, let's get started. My hardest day in Minecraft, or hardest night, if you may. So, what happened one fateful day, just like any Minecrafter, I decided, to play Minecraft, of course. It's a world I played a while back. Decided to make this world, for the YouTube channel. And things happened. Things died. Things went very, very wrong, very quick. I got the saddle. I got what I wanted. But at what cost? At what cost, I would say. So, if I told you the short version of the story, right? And I said I wanted saddles so I can have horses. I had a farm, pigs, cows, chickens. I had plants, bread or wheat, carrots, seeds, everything I needed to reproduce the animals and such. I've made me a unique house. The designs are a little lackluster for the time being, but supplies are low. I had many choices and many things I could do, but the one thing I did say I was gonna do was fix a village. I said this to myself. And I did try to do such, but not yet. I'm not strong enough. I don't have enough supplies. I don't have enough materials. But for me to do what I need to do, I need to be able to traverse the land faster, move faster, be better. And the one way I know how to do this is by acquiring saddles. What is the easiest way to acquire saddles, you may ask? I'm not a veteran. I don't claim to be or act as such. But the one thing I can say, tell you, fishing. I know you can acquire unique items that may have been lost from past or fallen soldiers or fellow miners, maybe drowns, maybe villagers. But I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's backtrack a little bit and explain my semi-origins. Spawn into a world, see an abandoned village, or a village that had no more life. It seems like the life has ceased way before my creation or my existence in this world. But then, that day, I pledged to myself, no matter what happens, I will protect this village and bring it back to prosperness. After acquiring all my basic essentials and building up, my needs and stuff like that, I needed to, once again, as I stated earlier, set out on a journey. My iron and other supplies were inefficient, but for me to do what I need to do, I'm seeing horses all around my land, but yet I have nothing to conquer them with. So I set out on a journey to find a pond, but not a pond, a lake, a body of water, something I can truly get into the fisherman's spirit with, if you catch my drift. I did find said thing. I did find what I was looking for. I did achieve what I wanted, but during my journey, I stumbled upon a village. But not just one village, two villages. One village, they welcomed me in with open arms, even let me grab some items. It was in the desert, if you may. Sun scorching, heat burning. But that's okay. I'm made to endure. I'm not no rookie or bitch. Anyways, After acquiring, some food, some rations of sorts, I set off on my adventure again. But I also was very dreadful or weary of not causing harm to any of the villagers. They have this creature known as an iron golem. If you attack the iron golem, he will not stop or cease his I tried it. Relentless assault upon you. He will smite you at any cost, unless your might is greater. But at that time, the damage is done. Your reputation is down the drain. The village will not forget. They always remember, unless you do something of kind gesture. But that's its own episode for a different way. But after my journey of traveling and traversing forests and stuff, I eventually made my stumble upon what I was seeking. But before I did this, I found something even better. I found yet another village. Once again, welcoming me with gracious arms, but I will not be a fool. I will not play coy this time. I will search every crevice, every inch of items in unique fashions and things to get. And yes, I did. I acquired unique things, but yet I did not acquire a saddle. Frustration at a medium, not too high, not too low, because I've sought out what I originally achieved. I had the supplies for a fishing rod. I had everything I needed. Everything worked. Everything was in play. So, after figuring out how to craft a boat, which you need planks, sticks, and a shovel nowadays. Back in my day, you just needed some planks and some sticks and you'll be good to go. But now that these boats are faster and more capable, we'll minor the details. Anyways, as I about to set out on my fishing journey, getting preparations in order, making sure I have all my food and stuff, I see an entity, if you may, or what I would soon call a fatal mistake, and I proceeded to do things to him. Things that were within the line of reason, I just not. I slain him. I killed him, smited him, however you may word it. Yet I do not know if this is a plea for my case, or if this is me trying to plead my innocence of some kind. I don't know why I'm telling this story, but I feel compelled to tell such. He had a flag of unknown origins, and it seemed like his intentions were hostile. Yet he had the resemblance of someone, or of the villagers that were neighboring right by. And without, the knowledge of this, me, under the pretenses of knowing of these raiders, if you may, was under the pretense that they were scouting before attacking said village. So, me being the gentleman, the lad that I am, thought it would be a good idea to smite men. As such, I did. But then my body started to convulse and shake, and purple or a darkest mist seemed to pour out of my body in an odd fashion. Yet I didn't know what this meant. And I heard a voice. It sounded almost like, for those that may know, Samantha or a dark entity. All I heard was, "You now have the bad omen." And that was the closest that I could replicate it. Sorry if the attempt was very poor and lackluster, but regaining my composure. I thought I did what was just, but having very vague knowledge and lack of experience once again, I thought I was good. As long as I don't step foot in the village, and approximately 5-ish minutes later, this bad omen will cease to exist. No problem at all. But I did leave out some minor details. During all of this process, I was able to stumble upon cats, or as they are called in this land, ocelots. And with me being persuasive and also having a bribe of fish, I was able to convey one over to my side. And yet I found another one. And so, as you would be able to guess, I gathered them all and made them reproduce as such. And with this begins the cat army, if you may. My ideal for this cat army would be simple. have multiple cats reproduce till I exceed the limit of whatever this world may or may not hold. And then I'd be able to plant them all over my base and where I live. This seems lucrative, and yet I didn't cease this action, which at first this action bare no ill will or bad intentions, if it may. The army of cats may prove fruitful. There was one miscalculation. As the day grew thinner and thinner, and the darkness of night was soon upon us, I realized a small miscalculation. My bed wasn't near me, and I did not carry a bed in my pocket, or inventory if you may. This mistake will cost heavily. So, what ended up happening was very unlucrative. I attempted, foolishly, admittedly, but after the fact of knowledge, I attempted to claim said item, which thinking my bed was within reason outside of the line of villagers. But by the time I realized what mistake I really have made, it was far, far too late. So I attempted to proceed and do as such, but then, as I'm not going to do an attempt again, but simply, all I heard was, "The raid now shall begin." And I heard a horn, but in the heat of the moment, blood's pumping, knowing what I've just caused and knowing what's about to happen, it just sounded like torment or screams or shouts of like hell or voices or... Sorry, I'm losing my composure again. Simply put, the raid begun. And many, many things died that day, or days. Simply put, as far as my memory can recall, unless the experience was too traumatizing for me to comprehend in such a manner, I would simply like to say or talk about, I would say it lasted approximately 3 days. 3 days and 4 nights, or 4 days and 3 nights. But let me tell you the events of how this all went down. As the raid proceeded to happen, I rushed over, having my weapon in arm and making sure that hunger was not going to be a problem or deplete me of my strength and speed. I consumed whatever I had nearby, and the memory is yet fuzzy, but I would like to say is maybe it was some food or pork chop that I've cooked the day previously to make sure I had nourishment for the journey that awaited me. As I consumed this flesh of the pig, or whatever I may or may not eaten, my strength was back to 100. And as all this was happening, I was rushing over to the bell because due to the knowledge that I pertained, due to the knowledge that I had, I knew that if I did this, I would be able to warn the village that welcomed me in with welcoming arms. And with my knowledge, thinking my knowledge was, how do you say, bountiful. It was not. The wave won. These assailants, or hostile mobs if you may, attacked, but I was able to defend while the golem was still alive. I was able to defend off most of them, and everything was fine. And wave 2 was a little more troubling, or stressful if you may, but I was able to smite every last one of them. And then the final wave appeared upon me, and as I could see villagers, all of them cowering in fear, me bloodied and battered, but yes, with the grace period of them calling for reinforcements, I munched on nourishment, substance, to give me the strength I needed to protect the villagers from the mistake that yet I have done. And with this, I stood ready and prepared myself to fight, even though some of those rounds they eluded me, if you may. I was going to make sure that this village was not going to suffer due to the foolishness and lack of experience that I had. So as I fought off waves of interesting beings, some that had unique abilities and were able to change reality around them to attack me from below, my shield proved beneficial in this battle if you may. Them armed with crossbows of unique caliber. My weapon knowledge extends from the sword or axe maybe, or even a crossbow, but my apologies. They are armed with a crossbow. I am armed with a bow. At least I was. Ammo supply was extremely low. As I told you in the beginning, I do not possess a lot of materials. And so as I finished this last wave, and realizing that once I had killed whatever creature that they was riding on, I would probably say a rhino if I had to take a guess, but I've yet to see a rhino in this dimension, or world if you may. I acquired the item that I was looking for. I acquired one saddle, maybe two. Memory's still a little fuzzy from all that went down upon that night. So with that being said, and that being the pointy case, I breathed an air or a sigh of relief after finding the last assailant and crushing him, making sure they remembered what my name was, and making sure they don't forget that I was here to stay and protect the village. Or so I thought. I did acquire some new items. It was a totem of undying. I acquired 3 of them, but at the end of all this, I only had 2. No, 1. That sigh of fresh air, comfort, happiness, all of it, knowing that I was able to save some of the villagers. We're okay, despite the darkness approaching me, and it all consuming me. And then night was nearly there, but I could see the sun slowly fading away. This is where my greenness truly showed its colors. Yet, this wasn't it. They had more reinforcements and they did not yield or did not stop. They, how would I say, thought one man couldn't stop them. In this case, they was right. More of them came, stronger, or not stronger per se, but more numbers. Realizing that the numbers they sent originally was insufficient. There was many times I thought about escaping or running, but knowing that I caused this tragedy or misfortune, I was not going to sit by and let this happen. So I stood and fought with shield in hand and sword in other. Food plentiful, belly full, ready to go, raging to go. It wasn't enough. As I soon come to find out, even with the totem of undying, which I was foolish thinking as long as it's in the inventory, the effect remains, being too reliant on the shield, of course. Needing to hold it in one's hand to fully gain its effects and power. I died more than once. I died once. No problem. I will go back to retrieve my stuff due to my spawn being in the village that I caused this atrocity in. And then I died again. But then I had the totem of undying with me. So I felt vigorated, stronger. And yet they smited me again, but I was brought back from the blink of death with new vigor and new energy. But yet, their numbers, their might was too much for me to handle. As I attempted once again, death waited me, slowly but cruelly. Trying to retrieve my items, but not having the capacity to fully get them all. Inventory filled with items that I've gotten from the ones that I was successfully able to smite. I died few more times after this. Eventually, the raid ceased. Thought it was over. Thought I won. But there was a problem. In legends, I heard that if one was able to survive the raiders and defend off the attack, you would be welcomed and showered by gifts of whatever the villagers had in their respective field, but there was no shower. There was only the empty, hollow void of knowing that what I've caused has made people die and suffer. Knowing, no matter all the attempts of me trying to get up high ground and scout and do all this, bloodied, battered, armor shredded, I was able to flee and go to different areas to achieve stuff and put away items in quick session during some grace period of some caliber. But once I realized that the raiders left, not because I kept dying, or maybe because of this, but because I was inadequate. I was weak. For that time at least. And as I tell you this story now, I just would like to know, what do you think? Looking at the empty, hollow void of everything and seeing the life that was once prosper and had people farming and such is now just an empty wasteland. Not knowing what happened to the iron golem that defended the land. Did he die defending his people, his masters? Or did he fall in battle with me? Can't say that, can I? I don't know if this is survivor's guild or not, but I fought a battle and lost. But yet I still don't fully gain the concept of why I was brought back even after or before using the totem of undying. But in the heat of the moment, I did not question it, but with the lingering thoughts and screams of all the people that died, it makes you wonder many, many things. So, with the gist of the pain and suffering I suffered through those nights, I did not include those nights that were there. During those nights were painful and uneventful. Zombies ripping the fellow villagers apart, and nothing I can do to stop it, because as my sword swings and aims and attacks, I hit others that I was not aiming for. And not fully able to stop this happening, the villagers getting assaulted from either zombies or zombie villagers, or them getting assaulted by the raid that is currently taking place. I am not able to save everyone, but in this case, no one. I even tried to go to sleep at reasonable times before the raid took place, and this proves fruitless. Fishing. I fished. All I wanted to do was fish to get its saddle. Why do they have to die? Why was I incapable of saving them is a question I had. I could talk about how peaceful and serene it was to fish as the water poured on my flesh and touched my soul in a calming manner. Due to the tragic or traumatizing experience, I don't remember what order it happened in. But yet, either way, I've gained many bountiful things from that, but this is not that story. So, with all of this said and done, and all of this that happened on the my hardest night of Minecraft. I guess I should make that plural, but I don't think that sounds too enticing. I achieved the goal back when I was fishing. I won all the saddles. Won all the saddles. I won them all. Give me all of them, I said. Happily fishing, knowing the villagers are not minding it. Knowing night and day was passing breezily and fine, but not knowing the soon dread that was going to fall upon me. I did get the saddles and many useful items and of good power. Nothing OP or high class, but surely better than what I came with. But I also gained the memory of the zombies and the village zombies and the raiders attacking and plundering the place into madness, and yet I was not able to do a thing. So with this being said and me pleading my case, what do you think? Do you think I tried my best to save everyone? Or am I making this up? Or was I not strong enough? I don't know. Tell me, what do you think? What do you think about this telling the story? It should have been different. It wasn't meant to happen this way. I swear upon it. I swear. But with all that said and done, people die, things pass, regardless if it's my fault or not. There's many questions. Why did they show up? Why did I not just trap the individual instead of attacking the individual? But the one question that does wrangle my mind is two things. Should I tell you the rest of this story in part 2? And the second question is, should I even bother logging back in? And cut. Alright, I need to turn the light on because I am dark as hell. Oh my bullshit. Damn, that still didn't do nothing. Can we fix the brightness? There we go. Alright, peeps. Yeah, I doubt it, but if you possibly did make it this far, I hope y'all liked that video. I'm pretty sure I did some editing, but if I didn't, maybe the acting was enough. True story. All of that did happen in the world of Minecraft. Not gonna lie. It was not a good episode for your boy. I was trying to fight. I would say I had a little bit of flair to it, I guess, but like for the most part, that's pretty much what happened. You know, I went fishing, thought everything was good, gravy, did some shit, but like, anyways, main point, about to get to the end of the video. If y'all like this shit, let me know. I would love to do a part 2, which I do have part 2 background B footage ready for that. And I also do have, part 3 potentially. I don't have it like ready, but you know what I mean, peeps. So let me know if you like it. If you do, hit that sub, hit that like you like, let your boy know, talk to me. And if you do fucks with this, send it to other motherfuckers that may like this. I did get inspiration from a dude that does story-like type videos while talking about the game and stuff. And I thought this would be a fun way for y'all to experience my Minecraft world without me just doing a typical Let's Play. And if you ever do decide to stop by on my Twitch at BossDK23, you can always do that too. Or you can hit, look at the description down below. So, with that being said, I will catch y'all later and possibly play a little Minecraft. And if you got any suggestions for your boy, let me know. If you got any ideas for videos or anything, let me know. I'll play some game. We might be able to even play together. Catch y'all niggas later. I'm gonna wait for it to be 30 minutes because I'm me.